I had 7 days to play this unreleased game, and I'm about to give you my in-depth, unfiltered review. This is Gray Zone Warfare. Which, quick update, just before I was about to post this video, they announced releases tomorrow. This should give you a great overview of what to expect, and if it's worth taking the risk right now. In this game, you fight against AI in the environment with your faction of friendly players, completing missions to upgrade your vendors and the gear that you can buy from them. While doing so, there's 2 other enemy factions with real players doing the same thing. Killing each other means that you can steal their loot and get some very nice upgrades. That chaos is packaged inside of a milsim style game. Realism is paramount, and as such, you don't get UI to see where your team is, even the friends in your squad. You get some shots, there's no hit markers, kill confirms, nothing. Now, this isn't the case with everything, but this is far further push than what you might experience from, say, Call of Duty. Okay, but while this game is closer to an extraction shooter in that genre, which is being led by Escape from Tarkov, this has a lot of aspects of the cycle as well, that being it's a perpetual world. The servers do not go down. There is no time limit or constraint, and really in many situations it feels more like a survival game, although I'd still put it as an overview in the category of extraction. While we don't know the price, I can only assume that's going to smash Tarkov here too, which recently had a great bit of drama. The game now being $250 with pay to win in it. A topic for another time. That being the main game everybody's comparing this to, and having a good number of hours in that myself, let's start there with some of the comparison. Because let me tell you, the attachments, ammo, vendors, tasks, healing, armor systems, I mean, most of the game, honestly, is shockingly similar. What I love, though, is that this game takes out some of those aspects that I hated and found to be no fun in Tarkov. Quest objectives actually give you more hints and even have marked graffiti and locations around the world. Exfilling, just leaving the game, is as simple as looking at the map and going to a location. The proximity chat actually felt useful since you can talk to your own friendly faction and ask for help or even assist them. You don't need to absolutely murder everybody instantly when you see them, and it leads to a lot more fun interactions.
He might shank us.
I'm gonna do surgery, man.
I think we just put him down, or do we let him go?
We have no money,
How about
man.
we say
have no
walk
money on
that
our
way
team.
and then we just
I mean,
fight him
well,
over
like
10
you
seconds.
guys.
Yeah.
Did you make him
Walk
drop
out
all his
into the
weapons?
I need
flowers.
you to just walk north. Don't turn around. Just keep walking north.
What are we doing to him? Did you take his weapons from him?
Keep
No.
walking.
Throw a frag at him, Fog. I want to see him get a fragged.
You
If you survive
that looks like a good
these days, you get
throw.
to live.
Wait. I got him.
He's throwing a frag! Frag!
Scatter!
Oh, shit, that hurt me!
I got him.
He just turned around and
that was
I
legendary.
don't blame him.
The potential for this game is there with the interest level that I'm seeing from my friends and viewers. I've covered a lot of different games, and it looks like most communities are interested. But the question is how much they can actually add and polish before the official early access for the general public to play. And I will say, a lot of people are not interested in the game too. The main gripe that I have seen being how slow the game is, especially from a lot of the Call of Duty fans, which I understand, especially if you're a Rebirth player. As someone, though, who prefers the strategy and big map battle royale, engaging some tactics, this is right up my alley. And because of that perpetual world, I've actually preferred this experience to what I've had in Tarkov so far. Maybe this is still the honeymoon phase, but just being in the world, even when you're using vendors and sorting inventory, just talking and being able to interact with other players at that same base, it just felt better.
Look at
got
all
all
of
my
us.
stuff.
Here we are.
Hey!
Everybody got sent back. I'm not alone. That's what's up.
Saved in a
That's
way.
what's up.
I think everyone's going back to the
You
bunker.
guys want to go to the
Wind anomaly?
You want to go to the anomaly?
There's
Yeah,
a
let's
wind anomaly? Oh, that sounds so cool.
Oh, there's wind.
Don't listen to them. It's not
They
worth it.
added wind.
And I caught another one in for YBL.
But the chopper rides are obnoxiously long, especially with no vehicles. More on that and some of the problems I have in the game in a bit. Despite all the praise and optimism that I have to say and have heard from others, I don't see it being able to completely take out Tarkov. Everybody wants the Is this the Tarkov killer? Is this the Call of Duty killer? It's too established of a game that also is still in early access and already has so much content. They continue to update it and release more. And the people that play Tarkov, some of them are just straight up addicted. I barely escaped it myself. I think the two will have some healthy competition, but Gray Zone will have some hurdles to get past to stay relevant after its launch. So let's just get into it. The biggest problems that I have with Gray Zone. Number one is there is no vehicles and the mobility is just pain. Running somewhere with no hope of escape makes you want to quit the game. My buddy Tom, for example, wanted to show us an anomaly towards the center of the map. So we ran for 20 minutes with no auto run, and this is what we found. So we're heading to some anomaly that was found. We heard about it, and we already have a couple of our faction members there. So let's see what it is. Been running for about the last 30 minutes here.
Hey, Stone.
What are you doing all the way in the woods out here, man?
I don't know. I was playing Warzone, and then, next thing I know, I'm here.
What the hell?
Look. Is it going blurry?
A little
Hear the
bit.
wind? You see the
Yeah, I
wind?
hear the wind, and it is blurry up there.
Some sort
Yeah,
of
over
aliens.
here it's
Such a
fine,
weird
but then
Is that it?
this is what we came out here for? I came
this
all
is
this
it?
way for this? Oh, jeez. How do I shoot myself in the head? After that, we just blew ourselves up because we did not want to run back. And while it's great we do have the little birds, not having control over the traversal meant relying on them to fly you to the exact same spot every time that could then easily be camped. It was nice having that path to just go AFK if you needed to. It is so hard to spot anybody in this game just out in the world. There's no UAVs, there's nothing to help you. You're relying on your eyes and ears here. So if you have a guaranteed way to find somebody and kill them, i.e. sitting at that exfil, it becomes a lot more important and painful. All right. Oh, I'm dying.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
dying.
yeah.
I'm dying.
I had a feeling.
I'm dying. Oh my god, I made it to cover.
Did you make it over?
Holy shit.
I can't believe you're alive.
Oh, I can't believe I'm alive either, dude. I got absolutely shredded. There.
Did you get him?
No. Got him.
Yes! That's my boy. All right, come get me. I'm in a coma.
A game like this is also a massive time commitment that you are locked for. Not only for the fact that you can't leave in the middle of what you are doing without losing all your gear and progress that you've been making. That means you got to go find yourself an exfil, sit on that chopper ride all the way back, and then disconnect before you're leaving your house. So you're not leaving your house anymore. But then there's also the amount of time that you just have to spend in the game to learn how to play it, especially if you aren't already familiar with a game like Tarkov. And at least in the current state of the game, it doesn't teach you well what you really need to know to build a gun or even to heal your character. You're nauseous, you're hurt, you're dizzy, you got double vision, you can't even see what's going on. Well, good luck. Which type you gonna heal? I don't know, I'm not a doctor, man. I am also calling it right now that we are gonna have a massive problem with random players on your faction. Selfishly a bit, as a streamer, somebody is going to join into my world, see my name, come over to my ass, and hit me right in the head. But let's say you're on a character, you got some of the best gear you've ever had. A friendly rolls up at that exfil on your way out. They're just heading out, and look, you got a nice gear upgrade for them. Pop you right in the back of the head. I could take all your stuff. Oh, it was an accident, bro. The first test of gameplay that we were currently playing in was exclusively streamers, so this isn't out in the world with anonymous users. But how do you even deal with that issue? An even bigger issue for me, though, as I was playing with my friends, was the task progression. Even just on the first day, one of my friends was on an hour before me, so then when I got on, I had to do an hour of catch-up just for us to get onto the same mission. By the next day, it was over. All four of us were on different missions, and there was no way that we were all syncing back up. So it turned into the friend that was already farther ahead coming back to help us, meaning that they were making no progress and kind of wasting their time. So it really does not cater to team play, as they're not getting rewarded, or it's just not in their incentive. It's nice to help, but it doesn't feel good towards the progression of what they want to be doing, especially since they've already done it. That being said, I actually did enjoy a lot of the beginning tasks. I enjoyed a lot of the beginning tasks in Tarkov 2. As they got later, I hated them so much, I just played the game in other ways that I enjoyed. We'll see if it becomes similar in this, but the detail of the world was very cool. And I think that first exploration so far, at least, was already awesome with even what the missions were tasking you to do and finding the bodies of the guys you were looking for. And that in combination of going to these new locations like the underground bunker, a resort, a mall, the map and the exploration that progress was bringing us through was very cool. But does still leave me concerned for the future. And my final point here, which is that I imagine that this is going to get quite repetitive. And there will be a big need for new content and new locations. Games like this typically lack an end game. Instead, usually opting to reset your entire account and let you play through the experience all over again. We also even saw this on DMZ, right? And I at least haven't heard of any better plan of what to expect here yet. Tarkov does a great job when they do these wipes of also adding new maps and missions, which DMZ did for a while too. But it can be very hard to keep up with player demand. And while 150 missions off the rip is already very impressive for the start of an early access game, I don't know the track record here of what to expect into the future. But, okay, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. It's not even out yet. And in terms of what we did play for gameplay-wise, it was impressive and fun. The in-depth ballistic system and the shooting felt great. Although the visuals of like your character holding the gun, once you max out the FOV, looked a little bit weird and probably could be tweaked. The movement, I enjoyed the realism, managing the stamina, being affected by the weight of how much you have on, as well as having arm stamina so you can't just infinitely hold an angle. Although even with this, I noticed when you were sprinting full speed and tried to turn, as well as even just that transition to sprinting, did feel weird. My big focus in pretty much FPS game is the actual combat experience though. And the PvP action that we got into in those gunfights were some of the most insane that I have fought. A big part of that, the build up to these fights and the risk of not wanting to lose that character. What I also found unique and cool in this game is that you go into a coma depending on how you die, and you are resable by somebody else in your squad or faction if you have the right meds and can stay safe enough to get it done. Although it'd be great if you could drag them or reposition them to another place. Might be too tall of an order here. Could save you a miserable run back though if you can get that res off. Sometimes the time to kill did feel slow, but one taps are absolutely possible. I accidentally killed Aculite once when he told me to shoot him through a bush.
Yeah, let's try it, Stone. Here, shoot me in the leg through this bush. Just once.
Yeah, testing the invincibility of the bushes.
Didn't hit me.
Really?
Nothing. Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's an OP bush right there, dude.
Bushes are a man's best friend in gray zone warfare.
Hold on. Try my chest now. See if you can hit my chest through that. I'm dead.
Dead?
Yeah,
even a
that was only one
You
shot.
shot me right in the heart, brother.
That was only one shot.
Jeez. Shot to the heart and stones to blame.
But when it did take extra shots to kill, I'm not sure if it was the ammo type, the armor that was being used, if the shots were just missing, or if it was a bug. I noticed that with some AI, especially at the beginning of the test period for the 7 days we had, you sometimes had to shoot an AI 3 times or more in the head, which they had fixed on the last day of our test, supposedly. Team killing also just adds an insane amount to the pressure of the situation, but did lead to some frustrations when you're just playing with a faction member who rolls up with you and things can go sideways.
Oh, no.
It's just... Oh, shit! Oh, God! How do I heal this? How do I heal this?
Somehow we all survived.
The biggest question that I've seen across the board on this game, though, is Gray Zone Warfare on console, Stone? For now, no. This game is built on the Unreal Engine 5, which is why the graphics are so ludicrous. In addition, I'm utilizing AI frame generation on my 4090, which is bigger than what you could even fit into a console. We still don't even know what exactly the minimum specs for a game like this is going to be. It's not even out in early access yet. That being said, this game ran extremely smooth with that, playing full 1440p over 160 FPS. Sometimes some lag going into new zones, but very impressed. And I do have a feeling more games like this that are bigger scale will make it to the next-gen consoles when they release, as we have started to see some rumors of that. And I also feel like more mouse and keyboard support will just natively be there. That's already on the current gen of PlayStation and Xbox. Some games allow you to utilize it. like Call of Duty. More realistically, though, I think the best case study we have for something like this is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which took about 2 years to make its way to Xbox after they signed an exclusive deal with it, but that game also blew up way more massively and then took another 2-3 more years for it to come to PlayStation. Hopefully that gives you a little bit more context for this and even other games that you're going to see coming later this year I'll be checking out. Hi, me from the future. Grayzone just posted an update about this. Our goal will be to eventually be on console as well. Controller support will eventually be implemented for PC too. This after a post came out saying that Grayzone wanted to build its fame before coming to console. And a follow-up along with what I was saying here was that consoles could be years out. We want to build the ultimate experience and make sure that our vision truly comes into fruition first, which makes sense, but it's good to know where their mind's at. As for the AI, most places that we went to, especially once you left your kind of starting area, had an insane presence, and the gunfights were high intensity, very fun, and that was where you really got to lock in and get into the action. Outside of those long running and waiting periods on the flights. Back to the missions as well. I do really appreciate the way that they laid them out as you go through that starting area, it then takes you closer to where other factions are also going to and can lead to more PvP. And then getting to those other areas on the map, getting the flight path there, felt very rewarding, and discovering the map as a whole. The missions are really going to lead you into a lot of nooks and crannies. What I personally would like to see changed in this game, though, is one, the ambient noise being reduced. I had a glitch at one point where I didn't hear any of it, and then I could hear the other teammates walking through the bushes. It was amazing. I get some of it, and maybe in specific locations there's more than others, but it also sounded like I had a fly following me just all the time. Put some bug spray on, please. Is that a perk? Is that the pay-to-win option in this game? 2, finding loot, especially from bodies that you kill, or even trying to go back to your own dead body. It's just not fun looking around all the time and just trying to find it in all this. There's so much foliage and the graphics are so good. Like, I need a little bit of a game experience here. Put some flies around them. That's something Acolyte suggested, so you kind of know at least, like, the area that you're looking at. Or even if it's your own death, just mark it on, like, the TAC map. So you still have to pull it up to see where it is, but, you know, you're not just running around for ages. And 3, give me a way visually to differentiate my squad/faction members, so I'm not just popping off or getting popped without having to pull up the map. Because then it turned into every fight I had to pull up that little map to see, all right, is this a little green dot or a blue dot in front of me? We're good? Okay. Oh, I'm already dead. Obviously, as well, there's tons of bugs and things that need to be fixed. I didn't feel like any of these are worth mentioning here. But in conclusion then, this game has a lot of promise. And while it was one of the many extraction shooters coming this year that I was going to be checking out and definitely excited to play, it really was a pleasant surprise to me at how good it was. When it comes out, I most likely will give it another play, depending on how much has really been changed. And really, it kind of made me wish DMZ was developed better and more thoroughly and for longer, and had, like, rather than just all the cross maps between what was existing for Battle Royale, they had their own designs and, like, specific things made, which they did to some degree with their Labs copy from Tarkov, but more of that at a bigger scale. But I digress. Let me know what you guys think, and if you would want to see me play more of this game, or if it's just a pass. I think the space for these games and extraction shooters is just going to continue to get hotter, especially over this next year. If you guys enjoyed this coverage, this deeper look and commentary discussion, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. Continue to drop more of the production here for you, as well as more full gameplays over on my Stone Mountain Beyond channel. That's for this one, though. Thanks so much for watching.